Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and pranams. Thank you very much for joining in for our Krishna book study session today. Let's start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradushe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa-swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tarale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkrapa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tatsat Vasudeva Sukam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Sikshartamekah Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari. What is that? Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Sikshartamekah Purusha Purana. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 6.254. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Sikshartamekah Purusha Purana. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripam Budhiryastamaham Prapadye. So Vairagya Vidya. Okay, we'll discuss this during the session. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Sikshartamekah Purusha Purana. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shariradhari Kripa Budhir Yastamaham Prapadye. All right. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and pranams to all of you. Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpate Nanyam Tvadavayam Pashe Yatra Mrityu Parasparam Krishna Krishna Mahavaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tvameko Dayamananam Apavargosi Samshrute. So we are on chapter number 35, right? 35 of the Krishna book. We're going back to the gopis' feelings of separation. So we, before yesterday's topic, the previous topic, we were talking about on the day of Rasa Purnima, we were talking about how the gopis enjoyed the Rasa dance with Krishna, not for their own sense gratification, but to give pleasure to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna. Right? So we're talking about the same gopis who are willing to take the dust from their feet to give to Krishna, to satisfy Krishna of a momentary headache, right? Momentary 1 second headache. To relieve Krishna of 1 second headache, they are willing to go to the hellish planets for millions of lifetimes. Why? Because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I cannot give the dust of my feet to Krishna. But if it can cure Krishna of the momentary headache, then the gopis are willing to go and suffer in the hellish planets for many, many lifetimes. So if this is the attitude of surrender that the gopis have for Krishna, where is the question of enjoyment? Right? What do they want to do? They simply want to serve Krishna and surrender their lives to Krishna at all times, in whatever way that is possible, in order to give maximum pleasure to Lord Sri Krishna. So now they understand that the Lord is feeling separation. So now in the feeling of separation, vipralamba bhava, right? There are two kinds of loving reciprocation. One is called milana. Milana means when the lover and the beloved, they come together. That is called milana, right? But higher than that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us that even higher than meeting our beloved is to render service to our beloved in their absence. Ashlishyava padaratam pinashtumam adarshanan marmahatam karotuva yata tadhava vidadatulam pato mat prananatastu sa eva naparaha. Because when service is done in separation, there is no enjoyment. There is only pure service for the pleasure of the beloved. So in that way, the pleasure or the service or the bhava that is experienced by a devotee in serving the Lord in separation, in vipralamba bhava, is much, much higher than sambhoga. Right? Sambhoga means milana. That means when the lover and when the beloved, when the lover and his beloved, they meet, that's called sambhoga. That means you're going to enjoy, right? But when the attitude is of service and not to enjoy one's own senses, then there is greater pleasure in vipralamba seva, right? This Radharani, she was singing this song, in separation from Lord Krishna, right? In Kurukshetra, when Srimati Radharani meets Lord Sri Krishna after many, many years, when Krishna went from Vrindavan to Mathura, and then later on, to Dwaraka, and then finally during the Kurukshetra war, she sees Krishna, and there Krishna is like a king. He's although he's doing the role of a Sarathi, he's no longer that cowherd boy who used to take the cows for herding. Right now he's all dressed as a king, and Radharani tells this verse. हृदयं लोककातरं दैतद्राम्यति किं करोम्यहम्. Mathura Nath Katha Avalokya se. Okay, 1 minute. I'm just missing the starting. Mathura Nath Katha Avalokya se. Hridayam Twadaloka Kataram Daita Brahmyati Kim Karomyaham. आई दीन दयाद्र नाथ है मथुरा नाथ कदा अवलोक्य से. Right? आई दीन दयाद्र नाथ है. आई दीन दयाद्र means the one who is so merciful. Right? Mathura Nath. Now he is no longer that Gopa of Vrindavan. Right? Whom used to play his flute, who used to play with the Gopas, used to steal the Gopis' clothes. Now he is dressed like a king. He is so opulent. So Radharani is saying, okay, this is not that Krishna. So what she's saying, although she's standing in front of Krishna in Kurukshetra, she's singing, Ai deen dayadrinath hai, Mathura nath kada avalokya se. Kada avalokya se. Oh, when will I see you? Right? Standing right in front of Radharani. But she's saying, when will I see you? When shall I see you? Hridayam twadaloka kataram. My heart is so aggrieved. Daita Brahmyati Kim Karomyaham. Daita Daita means very dear. Daita Brahmyati. Oh, beloved, I've become so much aggrieved because I want to see you. Where are you? And Krishna is right in front of Radharani. But in Kurukshetra, he's dressed like a king. And Radharani is saying, when will I meet that Krishna of Vrindavan, right? That Kana of Vrindavan, right? When will I meet that person, right? And later on, the same verse was actually recited by Madhavendra Puri, right? Ai Deen Dayadrinath hai, Mathura Nath kada avalokya se, Hridayam Twadaloka Kataram, Daita Brahmyati, Kim Karomyaham. This is Vipralamba Bhava. This means Radharani is in front of Krishna, but still she is asking, oh, when will I see that Krishna of Vrindavan? Right? My heart is aggrieved to take some darshan of Lord Krishna, not Lord Krishna, of Krishna. Right? It's been so many years. When will I take darshan of Mathura Nath? Right? Because Krishna is standing in front of her as Mathura Nath. So she's asking Mathura Nath, when will I take darshan of that? When will I get darshan of that Krishna of Vrindavan? Right? Later on, Madhavendra Puri, who actually instituted, right, our sampradaya is Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Guru Parampara. Right? Madhvacharya actually, although the tattva is already established, right? Dvaita, right? But the Madhurya Rasa was introduced only by Madhavendra Puri, even in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Guru Parampara. And how did that Madhurya Bhava come about? Because Madhavendra Puri was completely absorbed in this particular verse that is sung by Radharani to Krishna. And later on, in Madhvacharya Sampradaya, in which we all come, Madhavendra Puri actually understood this tattva, and he brought about this feelings of separation, because Madhavendra Puri experienced the feeling of separation, right? So in that ecstatic feelings that he himself was experiencing, he was able to give this bhava to Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Guru Parampara. That is why it is only in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Gaudiyas that actually talk about Madhurya Bhava, the sweetness of Parakiya Bhava. Parakiya Bhave Jaha Brajete Prachar. Brajete, this Madhurya Bhav is only seen in Vraja, right? So in this way, Radharani's mood and Radharani's expansion are all the gopis. The gopis are all feeling separation from Krishna, right? Although they just met Krishna the 2 to 3 days back, when they had the Rasa Leela with Krishna, yet ye dil mange more. We always want more in this material world also. Whenever we want something, we should understand that the source of that is there in the spiritual world. The source of that is Krishna. Right? Aham sarvasya prabho mattaha sarvam pravartate. Iti vatva vajante ma mudavava samanvitaha. We cannot possess anything that is not already possessed by Krishna. Right? But in our concocted emotions, everything is perverted. Whereas the supreme emotion in its real state, purified state, exists in the spiritual world. Right? So that is why this service in separation is said to be much more exalted than service in union. Why? Because service in union could even have the bhava of I wanting to enjoy, but a service in separation is always in the mood of service. That means I want my beloved to enjoy. I want Krishna to enjoy. So when the gopis are experiencing this bhava of separation and they're singing this Gopi Geet, they are wanting Krishna to come back to them so that they can provide pleasure to Lord Sri Krishna. So in that mode, we will study this chapter, right? Like we studied on the Rasa Purnima day also, right? When the gopis are saying, oh Krishna, when will I see you? When the Goswamis are singing, He Radhe Vraja Devike Chalalite, He Nanda Shuno Kutaha, right? Oh Radha Krishna, oh Radha, oh Krishna, He Radhe Vraja Devike Chalalite. The Goswamis are asking for Radha and Krishna. Why? Because they want to serve Radha and Krishna. Where are you? I want to come and serve you. And Radharani is also checking, where is Krishna? Gopis are also checking, where are you, Krishna? We want to give our service to you. We want to give pleasure to you. But where have you gone? You've disappeared. Right? So although they have just met Krishna and they've just gone back home, they didn't want to go home. But when Krishna told, okay, now you go back home, they all went back home. And again, they are experiencing the mode of separation. So today in that bhava of how the gopis are feeling separation because they want Krishna to come and enjoy them, in this mode of service, they're expressing their longing to meet Lord Sri Krishna. So in this bhava of service, not bhoga vritti but seva vritti, Let us study this wonderful chapter. Chapter number 35. The gopis' feelings of separation. Okay, Anusha Mataji, I can see your hand up. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji. The gopis' feeling of separation. The gopis of Vrindavana were so attached to Krishna that they were not satisfied simply with the rasa dance at night. They wanted to associate with him and enjoy his company during the daytime also. When Krishna went to the forest with his cowherd boys, friends, and cows, the gopis did not physically take part, but their hearts went with him. And because their hearts went, they were able to enjoy his company through strong feelings of separation. To acquire this strong feeling of separation, is the teachings of Lord Chaitanya and his direct disciples, the six Goswamis. When we are not in physical contact with Krishna, we can associate with him like the gopis through feelings of separation. Krishna's transcendental form, qualities, pastimes, and entourage are all identical with him. There are 9 different kinds of devotional service. Devotional service to Krishna and feeling of separation elevates the devotee to the highest perfectional level, to the level of gopis. It is stated in the Srinivasacharya's prayer to the six Goswamis that they left the material opulences of government service and the princely status of life and went to Vrindavana, where they lived just like ordinary mendicants, begging from door to door. But they were so much enriched with the gopis' feelings of separation that they enjoyed transcendental pleasure at every moment. Similarly, when Lord Chaitanya was at Jagannath Puri, he was in the role of Radharani, feeling separation from Krishna. Those who are in the disciplic succession of the Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya should always feel separation from Krishna, worship his transcendental form, and discuss his transcendental teachings, his pastimes, his qualities, and his entourage and his association. That will enrich the devotees to the highest devotional perfection. Feeling constant separation while engaged in the service of the Lord is the perfection of Krishna consciousness. The gopis used to discuss Krishna amongst themselves, and their talks were as follows. My dear friends, one gopi said, do you know that when Krishna lies on the ground, he rests on his left elbow and his head rests on his left hand? He moves his attractive eyebrows while playing his flute with his delicate fingers, and the sound he produces creates such a nice atmosphere that the denizens of the heavenly planets who travel in space with their wives and beloveds stop their aeroplanes, for they are stunned by the vibration of the flute. The wives of the demigods who are seated in the plains then become very much ashamed of their singing and musical qualifications. Not only that, but they become afflicted with conjugal love, and their hair and tight clothes immediately loosen. Another gopi said, Hare Krishna Mataji. Can I continue, Mataji?
Go ahead, Mataji.
Yeah. Another gopi said, my dear friends, Krishna is so beautiful that the goddess of fortune always remains on his chest and he is always adorned with a golden necklace. Beautiful Krishna plays his flute in order to enliven the hearts of many devotees. He is the only friend of the suffering living entities. When he plays his flute, all the cows and other animals of Vrindavana, although engaged in eating, simply take a morsel of food in their mouths and stop chewing. Their ears raise up and they become stunned. They do not appear alive but like painted animals. Krishna's flute playing is so attractive that even the animals become enchanted. And what to speak of ourselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. So in this way, what are the gopis doing? Machitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. What are they doing? They are when they are with Krishna, they are serving Krishna. And when they are not with Krishna, they are discussing the pastimes of Krishna. And in this way, in separation, they are getting the same ecstasy, the same joy of serving the Lord. Right? The best way that we can serve the Lord is Krishner Mati Rastu. Right? Always remembering Krishna, never forgetting Krishna. That is a perfection. If you're able to always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna, that is a perfection of the human form of life. Because if we're remembering Krishna throughout our life, we will remember Krishna at the time of death. Right? And in this way, we will go back home, back to Godhead. And that is what everybody does in the spiritual world. Everybody is talking about Krishna. Everybody is dancing for Krishna. Everybody is eating with Krishna. Everybody is serving Krishna. Krishna is the center of everything. And if we center our lives around Krishna, oh, I want to bathe and dress the deities today. Oh, I want to decorate the deities today. Oh, what bhoga should I offer to the deity today? Oh, what Vaishnava bhajan should I sing for the Lord today? Oh, which Bhagavad Gita verse should I memorize today? Oh, where should I continue the study of Krishna book today? What am I doing for the Lord today? What can I do better for the Lord? What can I do better from what I did yesterday? How can I become a better devotee? Right? Monday is Ekadashi. And Ekadashi is an opportunity where we can review our progress in Krishna consciousness. From last Ekadashi to this Ekadashi, do I have more taste in chanting Hare Krishna? Do I want to hear about Krishna more and more? Can I utilize my skills in a better way to how to serve Krishna? So in this way, when we contemplate, it is said, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, Patanam, Kirtanam. Right? All this you have to do. Shravanam means we hear from a bona fide devotee about Krishna. And then Patanam, we have to study what we've heard. About that only we should study. Why? Only then we'll understand correctly. Otherwise, we will read whatever we like and understand according to whatever our mind tells us. We don't want our mind as our guru. Right? We want a bona fide devotee as our guru. So first we should hear. And then second, we have to read. What we read about what we've heard. That is Patanam. And then what do we do? Mananam. Mananam means recalling. That's why we are memorizing the verse. We are recalling the verse. We are reading the translation. We are trying to understand, okay, what did we study in the class? That is Mananam, recalling what we have studied. Nididhyasanam, how can I apply that teaching in my life? Manmanabha, this is a verse for this week. What is the verse for this week? I hope all of you have memorized and are continuously reminding yourself of that verse. Very important verse of the Bhagavad Gita. Manmanabhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishasi satyam te pratijane priyosime. Always remember the Lord. Manmana bhava madbhakto, become the devotee of the Lord. Madhyaji, become my, worship me. Mam namaskuru, offer obeisances to me. Me means what? Krishna is saying, Bhagavan Uvacha. Krishna is telling all this. These 4 instructions you keep following. As we are meditating on this verse, we want to offer as many obeisances as possible to the Lord. We want to always remember the Lord. We want to worship the Lord. We want to serve the Lord. In what way I can do? What can I offer to the Lord? So in this way, when we follow the instructions of the Lord, and when we read Bhagavad Gita, it is like what the gopis are doing right now. The gopis are also telling that only. Oh, Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill. Oh, Krishna killed the demon Bakasura. Oh, Krishna liberated Kaliya. That's what we are reading in Krishna book also. So what is the difference? The difference is we are trying to develop taste for reciting Krishna's pastimes, whereas gopis automatically have that taste. Hence, they are called ragatmika bhaktas. They never forget to glorify the Lord. They never forget to glorify Krishna. Whereas we are sadhaka bhaktas. So slowly, we'll become raga anuga bhaktas. We can never become ragatmika bhaktas, but we can become raga anuga bhaktas. Raga anuga bhaktas means, raga means spontaneous love. We want to develop that spontaneous love. Anuga means to follow in the footsteps of the ragatmika bhaktas. So that is our desire. We want to follow in the footsteps of the ragatmika bhaktas and develop spontaneous love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Spontaneous love for Krishna. And what does love mean? Love means to serve. And to serve means to please. What can I do extra? Little bit to serve my gurus. What can I do little bit extra? Or am I thinking, Are yaar, last week to kiya tha. Again you want me to do? Again the same thing. What is this? Right? So that is not service. That is sense gratification. Okay, I will do this only. If you want to take it, otherwise you leave it. Right? So that is sense gratification. But how can I serve you better? What can I improvise on? Right? So in that way, if our mode is to continuously strive to improve our service to the Lord, improve the service to our gurus, then we will please them. And by their mercy, we will get more and more opportunities to serve. And in that way, we will get more and more bliss to perform devotional service. Right? So that is what it is. So whether we are in the association with the Lord or we are not in the association with the Lord, we can always serve the Lord by always remembering the Lord. That's exactly what the gopis are doing. One gopi is saying one thing, another gopi is saying something else. Right? How Krishna is dressing, right? Venum Kwanantam Aravinda Dalayataksham Barha Avatam Samasitam Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Visesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Manantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhaktau Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Vedeshu Durlabam. Anybody who is a Trivedi, Chaturvedi, very difficult to understand Krishna. Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhaktau. But someone who surrenders to the Lord, Krishna will reveal himself, right? That is why we always say, Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahim indriyahi sevon mukhehi jivadau swayam eva suratyadaha. If we simply chant Krishna's names in a humble state of mind, then Krishna will reveal himself to us automatically. But if we try to study the Vedas and we try to prove ourselves better than others, I know better than you, I know Krishna more than you, I know this Damodar Leela already, what is there to hear? That shows our level of advancement in Krishna consciousness. If we say that I already know it, it's not about knowing, it is not about getting it in the head, right? It is about relishing it in the heart. The more we hear, if we are able to relish more in our heart, then we are progressing in Krishna consciousness. If we think I know it already, I have heard it already, okay. Now, generally in a physics class, Hare, ma'am, you already taught this last class, why are you repeating it? Like that, we'll tell the physics teacher. But this is not physics. This is not chemistry. This is not maths. This is not material science. Right? Material science, we already studied once and we passed that exam. Next syllabus will be a higher exam. Right? The concept is there, the same. Same in spiritual life also. Our tests also get harder. But it is not that whatever we were done before. Okay, I already attended this class. Let me skip school. My daughter tells me, Mommy, I already attended this in school. I understood the chapter. I don't want to go for the Allen class. Why? I already know it, right? That is okay for material subject matters, right? Because we don't want to do a PhD on that, right? We know the subject, we pass and we just clear the exam. But that's not true for the spiritual subject matters. We want to hear more. Why? Because even Mahatma Gandhi was saying, every time I read the Bhagavad Gita, I get more and more realizations. And every day I pick up and read a verse, it answers some of the questions that I have in my mind. And that is Mahatma Gandhi, who did not even respond to a letter of Prabhupada. And we are followers of Prabhupada. So how much more we should read the Bhagavad Gita? Prabhupada said, read the Bhagavad Gita scrutinizingly. Understand in depth what is Krishna telling us and what is Prabhupada telling us. That is what we need to understand. Not for theoretical knowledge, not for getting it in the head and not to memorize the verses and ratta and get name, fame, glory. No, that is not the purpose. The purpose is to become more and more humble. Oh, Krishna, I'm not able to do this. How I know I have to do this, yet I'm not able to do this. Krishna, please help me. Not that I know Krishna, I already heard it. I should hear again and again. What is this? Boring. Right? Then we are equating material and spiritual knowledge. Puna charvita charvananam. In the sugarcane juice, we are not getting taste after a particular point because there is no taste. Whereas in the spiritual subject matters, we are not getting taste from the beginning. Why? In the beginning, we may get also some taste because Krishna will give a little bit of rasa. So that at least you start chanting 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 4 rounds. But after chanting 10 years, 16 rounds also, we want Krishna to give us the rasa without any endeavor from our side. Krishna says, sorry, no. Ye yata mam prapadyante tam sativ vijamyam. You make an endeavor. You make an endeavor to chant Hare Krishna with absorption, then I will give you the taste. Right? You also have to endeavor. Mother Yashoda endeavored. Right? She ran behind Krishna so much. She was perspiring, she was sweating, she was breathless. Yet she was running behind Krishna. So we have to show Krishna our sincerity. Every day morning, why we have to wake up in Brahma Muhurta? Yesterday I chanted, na? Why today also I have to chant? Tomorrow also I have to chant? How long I have to chant? Right? We don't remember how many lifetimes we have wasted. But we only remember that I have been chanting for 25 years, yet I'm not getting any taste. But what is the quality of my chanting? I need to introspect. If I have no taste after 25 years of chanting, I need to introspect what is my chanting levels. What is the quality of my chanting rather than blame Krishna for not giving me the taste. Right? Krishna knows. Krishna's judgment and Krishna's giving mercy is perfect. Right? But where am I going wrong? That is the introspection that we need to do Ekadashi to Ekadashi. So Monday is an opportunity. Monday we're going to start the magnum opus study with the study of Srimad Bhagavatam, the lifetime study, right? If you're able to complete all the cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, and then we do Chaitanya Charitamrita, then that is such a great success. To be able to understand, to be able to read in the association of devotees in itself is such a fortune, right? So what was I saying? Why did I reach here? Yeah. So, Machitta Madgata Prana Bodhyanta Parasparam, the relishment should increase with increased study and not that I know it. I know it is material consciousness. I want to hear more. I want to hear more and more about Krishna. Oh, so wonderful is Lord Sri Krishna. I want to hear more and more about him. That is the consciousness of a devotee. And that is the consciousness of even a sadhaka bhakta. Right? His Holiness Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj told me. right? Fake it till you make it, right? You don't have humility, fake it till you make it. But he said 3 important rules. One, don't fake it so much that you yourself think you've made it, right? I should know that I am trying to fake it because I really want to make it. Second rule is don't fake it for other people to glorify you. Oh, Medhavani is so humble. That should not be the attitude why I want to fake humility. I don't have humility, but I really want to develop genuine humility. So that should be the objective, why I'm faking it. Right? And ultimately, the third thing is I want to genuinely want to develop this humility. Right? One, I know myself that I don't have this quality. Two, I don't fake it for others to glorify me for it. Three, I don't fake it so much. I only tend to believe that I am like that only. No, I know I should know that I am faking it. I'm still not humble, right? But I want to develop this humility, right? I want to develop this humility in a genuine way. I really want to feel humble in my heart, right? With that, if we strive every day to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the mode of humility, right? As well as Radhanath Swami Maharaj says, humility means honesty. You know the greatness of the Lord. You automatically feel humble, right? When you see this, this Brahmanda, right? How insignificant we are. How insignificant we are. What is there for us to feel proud? And we are so proud. I know the verses of Bhagavad Gita. I can chant these verses, right? Krishna just spoke this in 45 minutes. Krishna spoke the entire Bhagavad Gita. And we need 45 years to even understand and assimilate a portion of the Bhagavad Gita. That is our level, and what is there to be proud of, right? So why I came here is the more we hear Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita from a bona fide devotee, the more our hearts should relish. It is not about putting a tick mark. Oh, I have to attend this class, then next this class, then this class, 1 hour Bhagavatam, 16 rounds chanting, take, 5 takes, done for the day. Okay, sleep. No. How can I improve my chanting? Am I developing a relish to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita? Am I getting the taste to perform devotional service? I've completed my 16 rounds. Somebody comes and asks me to do some seva. No, I'm busy. I have a lot of things to do, right? And what were you asking for all this while? Whom were you asking for service? And when we give you service, you're very busy. I'm busy chanting the holy name. I don't want to serve. I'm busy. Right? That means we don't know what we are chanting, why we are chanting, right? So the more we get service opportunities, am I taking it with a humble heart and doing it for the pleasure of my gurus? All of this will determine whether my chanting is effective or not. Right? The Prabhupada says the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Right? Just like somebody who's very hungry, right? He eats a nice prasadam and then he feels tushti and pushti, right? He gets nourishment. He also feels full, his hunger has gone away. So like that, when we practice Krishna consciousness, we should also feel the tushti and the pushti. That means what? You should feel nourished. You should want to chant more. And we should also feel the spiritual strength to want to do more devotional service. And that, if we get, then we are doing Machitta Madhyata Prana Bodhiyanta Parasparam with the right consciousness. Otherwise, what are we doing? We are simply doing a tick mark exercise. We don't want to do a tick mark exercise. Okay, let's move ahead. What are the other gopis also saying? Right? So this is the mood in which we want to read this. That we want to increase our devotional service to Lord Sri Krishna, just like the gopis are always talking about Krishna. Okay, Shubhangi Keshavi Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Another gopi said, "My dear friend, not only living animals, but even inanimate objects like the rivers and lakes of Vrindavan also became stunned when Krishna passes with peacock feather on his head and his body smeared with his mineral of Vrindavan, with leaves and flowers decorating his body. He looks like some hero. When he plays on his flute and calls the cows with Balaram, the river Yamuna stopped and flowing and waits for the air to carry dust from his lotus feet. But the river Yamuna is unfortunate like us and does not get Krishna's mercy. The river simply remains stunned, stopping its wave just as we also stop crying for Krishna in expectation. In the absence of Krishna, the gopis were constantly shedding tears. But sometimes, when they expected that Krishna was coming, they would stop crying. But when they saw that Krishna was not coming, then again they would become frustrated and begin to cry. Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, the origin of all Vishnu forms. and the cowherd boys are all demigods. So, just as Lord Vishnu is always worshipped and surrounded by different demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Indra, Chandra, and others, when Krishna traveled through the Vrindavan forest or walked on Vrindavan Govardhan Hill, he was accompanied by the cowherd boys. While walking, he played his flute just to call his cows. Just by his association, the trees, plants, and other vegetations in the forest immediately become Krishna conscious. A Krishna conscious person sacrificed everything for Krishna. Although the trees and plants were not very advanced in consciousness, by the association of Krishna and his friends, they also became Krishna conscious. Then they wanted to deliver everything, whatever they had, namely their fruits, flowers, and the honey increasingly falling from their branches. When Krishna walked on the bank of the Yamuna, he was seen nicely decorated with tilaka on his face. He was garlanded with different kinds of forest flowers, and his body was smeared with the pulp of sandalwood and tulsi leaves. The bumblebees became mad after the fragrance and sweetness of the atmosphere and began to hum. Being pleased by the humming sound of the bees, Krishna would play his flute, and together the sounds became so sweet to hear that aquatic birds like cranes, swans, and ducks were charmed. Instead of swimming or flying, they became stunned. They closed their eyes and entered a trance of meditation in worship of Krishna. One gopi said, "My dear friend, Krishna and Balaram are nicely dressed with earrings and pearl necklaces. They enjoy themselves on the top of Govardhan Hill, and everything became absorbed in transcendental pleasure when Krishna plays on his flute, charming the whole created manifestation. When he plays, the clouds stop their loud thundering out of fear of disturbing the Vrindavan of his flute. Instead, they respond with mild thunder and so congratulate Krishna, their friends.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
is
Thank you,
excellent.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you. Dhanavad
Hare
pranam.
Krishna, Dhanas Pranam. So, like this, the gopis glorify Krishna. Right? As soon as Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj says, we've opened a crying school. Everyone has to cry for Krishna. Right? Why do we have to cry for Krishna? Because we have left the association of Krishna and we are struggling in this material world. And yet, we don't, although we know the path, we are somehow not able to follow the path. So, we have to cry for Krishna. And those people who cannot cry for Krishna, Gaur Govind Maharaj says, we have to cry that we cannot cry for Krishna. We have to cry that we cannot cry that we cannot cry for Krishna. Right? Somehow or the other, we have to enter the crying school. As long as we don't cry for Krishna, we will not get Krishna. So the gopi is shedding tears. Right? Although they have Krishna's association, is to have that laulyam in the heart always. To have that laulyam, I want to see Krishna, I want to serve Krishna, I want to eternally serve Krishna. And not be satisfied. Even in the material world, we can have that spiritual consciousness. It's not that, okay, I've completed my 16 rounds, okay, enough. Okay, that's why I don't want to see the bead bag again today. I've completed my quota. Then we can understand how much of a neophyte we are. But when there is an opportunity, His Grace Radhesham Prabhu was saying, I always have my bead bag around my neck. Because whenever I get an opportunity, I can chant around. Right? And generally, whenever His Grace Radhesham Prabhu goes anywhere, always devotees swarm around him. You always have some questions to ask Prabhu. And Prabhu was saying, when I go in the train, that's why Prabhu does not take flights. Within India, he always travels by train because he says that is the only time I get for myself. Where I go to the upper berth, I simply study Bhagavatam or I do my chanting. Right? Otherwise, I'm always swarmed with devotees. And he was saying also in one class that, once there was a Tamil devotee, right? Tamil, who was traveling with him in the same compartment. And Prabhuji's assistant who's traveling with him the train, he told Prabhu, should I tell him that, that you are Tamilian also, Tamil? And Prabhu said, don't tell now. Then the whole night they will waste my time by talking all the Gramya Katha. Tell them tomorrow morning. Then as we are about to get down, I can tell them a little bit of Krishna consciousness and then they can get down and go. So like that, every minute that I get, like we can see from such exalted devotees, how they always have the bead bag around the neck. Whenever there is an opportunity, chant more rounds of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we also want to develop this taste. But for us, 16 rounds ho gaya, 17 rounds ho gaya, mera sankalpa khatam ho gaya. Today I have done sankalpa 20 rounds, 20 rounds, finished, completed, finished. If finished this, if we are getting so much pleasure in finishing, then we will not want to chant more. And that is the goal. We want to serve Krishna, and serving is best done through remembrance of Krishna. In this age of Kali, remembrance is best done by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If you are feeling so happy that I've completed my rounds, then what is the goal? You're missing the point, isn't it? But of course, in the sadhaka stage, at least we should complete our prescribed rounds. At least we should complete our sankalpa. But our desire should always be to exceed our sankalpa. And when there is an opportunity, we should chant more. That is where we express our sincerity. Otherwise, we are completing our sankalpa is okay. It's expected. What are you doing more to get additional mercy? So when we cross our sankalpa, first is we have to establish our sankalpa according to a little bit of a pinch, right? I should feel the pain. It should be a little difficult for me. And then when I achieve the sankalpa, then if I have extra time, I should try to exceed my sankalpa. Then Guru and Gauranga are pleased. Okay, Medhavani is doing something. You know, she's not just, okay, I will do 16 rounds. Okay, I will do 16 rounds finish ho gaya. Time. Let go. Bead bag ko latka do. Then our Krishna consciousness also will be latka do. Right? So more we hang our bead bag in the wall, that my rounds are finished. Our Krishna consciousness also hanging on the wall. That's all. The more we are chanting more and more Hare Krishna, I am talking for my own self. It's a purification for my own self, what I do. That's what I'm saying. Right? It's Manasiksha I'm doing. Right? So the more we want to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, whenever there is an opportunity, then it is an indication that I am progressing in Krishna consciousness. The more I'm keeping my bead back that I've completed my rounds, the more we know that I am still in the neophyte stage. I'm not progressing in Krishna consciousness. All right, let's move ahead. Krishna is accepted as a friend. Sridhar Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam Mataji.
Dandot Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Krishna is accepted as the friend of the cloud because both the cloud and Krishna satisfy the people when they are disturbed. When the people are burning due to excessive heat, the cloud satisfies them with rain. Similarly, when people are materialistic life become disturbed by the blazing fire of material panches, Krishna consciousness gives them relief like a cloud. The cloud and Krishna having the same bodily color also and considered to be friends. Desiring to congratulate its superior friend, the cloud poured hot water, but the small flower and covered the head of Krishna just like an umbrella to protect him from the scorching sunshine. One of the gopi told Mother Yasoda, "My dear mother..."
One second, Prabhu. What happened? I don't know.
Sharing.
1 second, Prabhu. Just give me a second. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay. Yeah, Prabhu, please read from here. Krishna is accepted as a friend of the...
Krishna is accepted as the friend of the cloud because both the cloud and Krishna satisfy the people when they are disturbed. When the people are burning due to the excessive heat, the cloud satisfies them with rain. Similarly, when people in materialist life become disturbed by the blazing fire of material panches, Krishna consciousness gives them relief like a cloud. The cloud and Krishna having the same bodily color also and considered to be friend. Desiring to congratulate its superior friend, the cloud poured not water but small flowers and covered the head of Krishna just like an umbrella to protect him from scorching sunshine. One of the gopi told Mother Yasoda, "My dear mother, your son is very expert among the cowherd boys. He knows all the different hearts of how to tend the cows and how to play the flutes. He composes his own song and plays them. He puts his flute into his mouth. When he plays either in the morning or in the evening, all the demigods, including Lord Shiva, Brahma, Indra, and Gandhra, bow their heads and listening them with great attention. Although they are very learned and expert, they cannot understand the musical arrangements of Krishna's flute. They simply listen attentively and try to understand, but they become bewildered and nothing more." Another
Hare
gopi
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So here, what are the gopis doing? One kind of talk is gopis talk amongst themselves, the various dealers of the Lord. And then the gopis go to Mother Yashoda and praise Lord Sri Krishna. Yeah, your Lalla is so wonderful. He does all these pastimes. It is so wonderful to see him perform all these pastimes. When he plays the flute, we forget ourselves like that. Right? So in this way, they glorify amongst themselves, and then they glorify about Lord Sri Krishna to Mother Yashoda also. All right, let's move ahead. Another gopi said, my dear friends, Sindhu Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, pranams Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare Bol, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Another gopi said, my dear friends, when Krishna returns home with his cows, the footprints of the soles of his feet with flag, thunderbolt, trident, and lotus flower relieve the pain the earth feels when the cows traverse it. He walks in a stride which is so attractive, and he carries his flute. Just by looking at him, we become lusty to enjoy his company. At that time, our movements cease. We become just like trees and stand perfectly still, unaware that our hair and clothes are loosening. Krishna had many thousands of cows, and they were divided into groups according to their colors. They were also differently named according to the color. When he would prepare to return from the pasturing ground, he would gather all the cows. As Vaishnavas count 108 beads, which represent the 108 individual gopis, so Krishna would also count on 108 beads to count the different groups of cows. When Krishna returns, he is garlanded with tulasi leaves. A gopi described him to be him to a friend. He puts his hand on the shoulder of a covered boyfriend and begins to blow his transcendental flute. The wives of the black deer become enchanted upon hearing the vibration of his flute, which resembles the vibration of the veena. The deer come to Krishna and become so charmed that they stand still, forgetting their homes and husbands. Like us who are enchanted by the ocean of transcendental qualities of Krishna, the she deer become enchanted by the vibration of his flute.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
So,
Mataji.
Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasabha Britya. Krishna is only Purusha, right? Krishna is only enjoyer. All of the Purushas of this world, whether male, female, whatever gender, they're all Prakriti, right? Only Krishna is the Purusha, right? So, when Krishna is only enjoyer, then who are all to be enjoyed by him? Everything. Krishna's energies are meant to be enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are the marginal energies of Krishna. So we are meant to be enjoyed by the Lord. The gopis are the Antaranga, the Radharani is the Antaranga Shakti of Krishna. She is also to be meant to be enjoyed by Krishna. And she expands from Krishna only to give pleasure to Krishna. And even Mahamaya acts under the direction of Krishna. So in this way, all of us are energies of the Lord and they are meant to serve the Lord. Right? Just like I use my energy to fulfill my purposes. Similarly, we are all energies of the Lord. Hence, we need to be used by the Lord to fulfill his purposes, like that. All right, let's go ahead. The last section. Madhav Pyari Mataji, go ahead. Another gopi told Mother Yashoda.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Another gopi told Mother Yashoda, my dear mother, when your son returns home, he decorates himself with the birds of the kunda flowers, and just to annihilate and gladden his friends, he blows his flutes. The breeze blowing from the south creates a pleasing atmosphere because it is pregnant and very cool. Minor demigods like the Gandharvas and Siddhas take advantage of this atmosphere and offer prayers to your son by sounding their bugles and drums. Krishna is very kind to inhabitant of Braj Bhumi, Vrindavan. And when he returns with his cows and friends, he is remembered as the lifter of Govardhan Hill. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the most exalted demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva come down to offer their evening prayers, and they accompany the covered boys in the glorifying the qualities of Krishna. Krishna is compared to the moon born in the ocean of the womb of Devaki. When he returns in the evening, it appears that he is fatigued, but he still tries to gladden the inhabitants of Vrindavan by his auspicious presence. When Krishna returns garlanded with flowers, his face looks beautiful adorned with golden earrings, he walks into Vrindavan with a stride just like the elephants and slowly enters his home. Upon his return, the men, women, and cows of Vrindavan immediately forget the scorching heat of the day.
Hare Krishna.
Such
Thank you, Mataji. Let's ask Rajneesh Prabhu, please continue. Such descriptions.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandava
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. Dandat Pranam Prabhu.
Such descriptions of Krishna, transcendental pastimes and activities were remembered by the gopis during his absence from Vrindavan. They give us some idea of how attractive Krishna is not only to human beings but to all animate and inanimate objects. In Vrindavan, everyone and everything is attracted to Krishna, including the trees, the plants, the water, and animals like the deer and cows. That is the perfect description of Krishna's all attractiveness. The example of the gopis is very instructive to persons who are trying to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness. One can very easily associate with Krishna simply by remembering his transcendental pastimes. Everyone has a tendency to love sometimes to love someone. That Krishna should be the object of love is the central point of Krishna consciousness. By constantly chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and remembering the transcendental pastimes of Krishna, one can be fully in Krishna consciousness and thus make his life sublime and fruitful. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport of the 35th chapter of Krishna, the gopis feelings of separation. Hare Krishna.
Oh,
Hare,
thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
So with this, we come to the end of this chapter, which details us about what we also need to be doing all the time. You should be doing machittamadgata pranabodhyanta parasparam katayantas shamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. You should also derive pleasure in talking about Krishna's pastimes in chain, in discussing with each other about Krishna's pastimes. What did you read in Bhagavad Gita? What did you read in Chaitanya Charitamrita? What are your realizations? What we should do better in Krishna consciousness? Like this, when we discuss with each other, then we will come to the level where we're always thinking about Krishna, where we're never forgetting about Krishna, and that is the state of mind of the gopis, right? And that is also our goal point, or that is also our destination that we want to be. So Grantaraj Krishna book ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So request devotees to switch on your cameras. We are on time today, so let's have all the devotees give your darshan today. Namma Om Vishnupadaya Vishnapresthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी असत्यादिशोधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानन्दा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्दा हरे कृष्णा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Gaur Nitai, Jai Jai Jagannath, Jai Jai Baladev, Jai Jai Subhadra, Jai Jai Sudarshan, Jai Bala Gopal, Jai Radha Madhava, Radha Shyam Sundar, Jai Radha Gopinath, Radha Radha Mohan, Radha Govinda, Jai Radha Rasa Bihari, Jai Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radha, Vrindavan Nath Radhe Radhe. Jai Radhe Radhe, Jai Radha, Damodar Radha, Damodar Radha, Damodar Sri Radhe. Govinda Damodar Madhaveti, 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 Govinda Damodar Madhaveti. Jaya Chad Goswami, Jaya Guru Parampara, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Deva, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Kaliyuga Tamam Harinama Sankirtan ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Okay, Rohini Mataji, thank you, Sridhar Prabhu, Rajneesh Prabhu, Madhavi, Pyari Mataji, Harjeet Mataji, and Namesh Prabhu, Shobha Mataji, Shubhangi Keshri Mataji, Sarvagopi Shri Mataji, Srimati Shama Priya Mataji, and all the devotees. And those devotees who are not able to switch on your cameras, also thank you very much for your association. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, jai 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 Shri Radhe Shyam, jai jai Shri Vrindavan Dham, Pavan Radhe Tero Naam, Pavan Shri Vrindavan Dham. Thank you very much. Let's chant more in this auspicious month of Kartik Vrata, and let us become more and more dear to Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Meet you all at 5 a.m. for tomorrow's Brahma Muhurta chanting, and then at 11 o'clock sharp for our study of Krishna book. Thank you for joining in on time. We have ended on time. All right. Hare Krishna. Dandat pranams to all. Hari Bol.